What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I last made a video like this, and as you can see, I'm kind of in a different setting here. I finally got my Ford Transit. I know for the longest time I've been telling you guys that I have been looking for a fleet vehicle because the A3 was just starting to give out on me. The AC went out for a little bit, and working in Florida with no AC is absolutely miserable. So after much searching, finally found the perfect Ford Transit that I could use for the headlight restoration business. So super excited about that. Not just for the business, but I can also tell you guys if it's worth it for you. What that means is, because I've had people ask me before in the past, like, hey, is it worth getting a wrapped or a vehicle specifically for this? And I've said it before that headlight restoration, you don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need like a full-size van. You don't need a big truck or nothing like that. You could literally pack everything in a backpack and go do restorations. It's very simple. But the value in having a vehicle is because you can have it wrapped. Now, the good thing about that is that as you're driving, one of the best places to advertise to people is obviously whenever you're on the road. I'm looking at two vehicles right here that need headlight restoration, and then F-150 behind me that could use a little headlight restoration. So I got it partially wrapped. It's not completely wrapped. It only cost me $900 to have a partial wrap on it. It has no windows in the back, which you can tell. You can kind of see. I'm not really in the way, but you can kind of sort of see it. But I've only had it for about a week, and I already got 2 customers from it. So it's already paying for itself. I will see people taking pictures of the Transit, and obviously that just means that they're going to be calling me soon or something. So so far so good. I've gotten a pretty positive experience out of it. So you're mainly using it for advertising purposes. A lot of people would say, oh, it's kind of a waste because all you're doing is just driving around. You don't need all the space, but I can keep a lot of water in here. I can keep it completely stocked, so I don't have to check every day. I don't have to add water or anything to my jugs because I can just keep everything in the back. So I'm loving it. I'm liking it a lot. So anyways, I want to talk to you guys about just a flat out video. I've noticed I've never done a video about this. How to start a headlight restoration business, or essentially a task list on what you need to do when starting your very own headlight restoration business. So I'm going to go over the steps. I'm not exactly sure how many there are. I'm just going to kind of word them on what I would do if I was first starting, and some things that you really need to consider when getting into the business, because only somebody who has been doing this for a long time, full time, knows what issues you're going to run into and what things to consider when starting your restoration business. So let's get right into it. So the very first thing you need to do when considering starting a headlight restoration business is what method you're going to go with. There's 1,000 different methods out there. There's just sanding and polishing. There's Cerakote, like using the little wipes. There's 2K clears. A lot of different things. You have to make sure that, and when I say this, I don't mean that whatever method you're going to go with, you're going to stick with that method forever. You could find more efficient methods, but it is something that you need to consider, because if you are putting a lot of time and effort into practicing this one method, it is something that you do want to consider. Is this something that I want to do for all my jobs for the time that I'm doing this business? And one thing that you need to consider, for example, in my position, because I'll speak from experience, when I first started, I was doing the McGuire's method, which can require, it's a multi-step process, meaning you're sanding with multiple different grits of sandpaper, you have to polish, you have to use power tools in that, and whenever you are scaling, that plays a huge factor in your restoration process. For example, with me, I had to constantly make sure that my batteries were charged. I had an inverter in the Audi, and I was keeping my batteries charged in there. So that's one thing that you do need to consider, you need to be very, very conscious of your batteries, making sure that your stuff is charged. So that is more so one example of why it's important to really hone in what kind of process you're going to be doing for headlight restoration. So for me at that point, I had kind of like a ceiling above me. Since the McGuire's method can take up to 2 hours to do a single vehicle, you only want to do X amount in one day, or you can only do X amount in one day. So that's why I ventured out to find different methods that were a lot more efficient, that offered the same high value restoration that I was looking for. So I moved on and found it, came up with a new method, and I never looked back. So make sure you are considering, your options, finding out exactly what it is you want to do when it comes to the restoration process itself. Second thing that you want to do is practice. Whatever method you're going to go with, you want to make sure that you have more than enough practice to where you are 100% confident when it comes to you going to the customer's residence and working on their property. That's a good way to put it, because you're thinking, okay, am I experienced enough? Do I trust myself enough to work on somebody else's property? And if the answer is yes, then you are ready. I wouldn't recommend doing a customer's vehicle on like maybe the third or fourth. Like, make sure you get a good amount of experience. And one way that you can do this is, one, you can go to a junkyard. 9 times out of 10, usually they won't care if you're doing a free restoration on their stuff. Just don't say that you're new and you're practicing, because you're increasing the value. Even if you do a really crap job, if you're improving the overall look of that headlight, then you're increasing the value of that part, so they can charge more for it. So you could do that, go to a junkyard. 2, you could do your own headlights. So the first time, if you're doing your own headlights and you screw it up, that's fine. Just do it over again and just dial it in until you get it right. Just keep practicing on your own headlights. That way, 1, you're making your vehicle look better. 2, you're not putting anybody at risk. And 3, you're going to be super, super careful because it's your own car. So you could do that. Or last but not least, and this is a way that you can make some free cash too. Not free cash, but you can make some money. If you're ordering crappy headlights on eBay, or you're buying the headlights from the junkyard, taking them home, practicing on them, getting them nice and clean, and then reselling them, that's a good way to kind of jumpstart the revenue. You can make some income just by doing that. So in a nutshell, make sure you have your method down pat. Make sure you are very, very experienced. Make sure you understand what it is that you're doing, and you can correct any issues that you may cause or you may have when doing the restoration itself. So the third one, after you've figured out the process that you want to do, after you've practiced well enough, you need to come up with a business name. Now, this is very important. People don't really think about this too much when it comes to naming your business. You want to make sure that you have headlight restoration in the business. I have another competitor in my area. I think his name is like Bright or High Beam Headlight Care or something like that. Whenever you have a business name like that, like there's another person like maybe 45 minutes from me, is like Luminous Auto Care or something, or Luminous Headlights something. You want to make sure that when someone is saying your business name or sees your business name, they know exactly what it is that you're doing. If somebody sees my business name is Next Gen Headlight Restoration, they know exactly what it is that I'm doing. If you're coming up with a different name like Bright Lights or something like that, it can mean multiple different things. It can mean, are they doing headlight assembly repair? Are they doing headlight replacement? Are they doing bulb or HID installation? Like, what is it that they do? So not only for the sake of somebody being able to figure out what it is that you're doing right off the bat, but also for like your organic or your website traffic. If somebody's typing in headlight restoration near me and your business has headlight restoration in it, you're more likely to come up for that when people are searching for you. So that's why it is super, super important to come up with a good business name. I mean, I can think of one right now. Like, you can go with like Prestige Headlight Restoration, or One Up Headlight Restoration, or top tier headlight restoration, just something that has headlight restoration in it, and try to keep the name of the business small, that first name of it. So that's something that people sleep on. They don't really think about it. So make sure that you do a little bit of research, thoroughly make sure that this is the name that you want to go with, and it's something very, very easy for people to remember, and it says exactly what you do right off the bat. All right, so the fourth thing you want to make sure that you got down pat is your Google business profile and your Facebook. These are both free things for you to do. It doesn't cost you any money. After you got your business name, you could file for or open a Gmail account with that business name that you've chosen, and open a Gmail or a Google business profile. Now, I've said this before in the past multiple times, because people always ask me, hey, where do I start? What do I do? Get your Google business profile up, because it is one of the most important things for your business, and I'll explain about this. And for some of you who don't know, I have a background in digital marketing, so if you're wondering if I'm qualified to tell you this, I am qualified. And based on what I'm going to tell you, you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, like, maybe 90% of people use Google when it comes to searching for things, whether it be, services. You're about to go to a restaurant on Friday with the family, and you've never been to the restaurant. You're going to Google search it, and let me see what the reviews are, the pictures of the plates and all that. So one of the top reasons why is this is where they're called high intent customers are going to be. This is somebody who knows what they want. They want headlight restoration. So they're just looking for a company. They already know what they want. So it's very, very asinine to not be in this area where people are actively looking for your service. They want headlight restoration. They know they need it. Let me go to Google and type in headlight restoration near me. So that is already half the battle. The first half of the battle is being on there so that people can find you for these high intent customers. The second half of the battle is selling them the service, meaning, do you have a business, or do you have a website up? Is the website working okay? Does it look professional? Do you have reviews? Do you have photos? Are all your services filled out? Is it very easy for me to contact you? You want to make sure that you have a lot of call to actions all over your website to make it super, super easy for somebody to engage in your services. Because if not, they're going to go somewhere else. So make sure that you have all of that stuff filled out on your Google business profile. Everything. Not just that, and even in the future, make sure that you're updating it. Adding updates, adding pictures, all sorts of stuff. Treat that Google business profile like a massive sign in the middle of the sky that says, hey, this is what I do. Very, very important. And the second thing you want to do after your Google business profile is up and running is making sure that your Facebook is up and running. So for some people, and I can speak with experience, some people, and especially my generation, they don't like to make phone calls. They like to text or message. And I will admit, I'm kind of in that bracket too. I prefer to message or text. So Google actually doesn't have the message feature anymore. They got rid of that. So if you don't have a website and you're just starting out with a Google business profile and a Facebook, that's perfectly fine. Make sure that you have them linked together, because if somebody is going to your Google business profile, they see you on there, but they're at work or something, because we get a lot of people who do that. They're browsing at work or something. They don't have time to call. So if you have the Google business profile up and it's linked to the Facebook, they can click the website or click the social link. It'll take them to your Facebook, and then they'll be able to shoot you a message. So it's super, super easy. And again, that's the free aspect of it. If you want to go a little further, which I highly, highly recommend, is getting your website up and running so that people can fill out a form, or they can shoot you a text through a software or something like that. Definitely you want to eventually get a website, but more so I'm just telling you these are all things that you could do right now, like after you watch this video. So make sure that you have your Google business profile up and running. Most importantly, make sure that it's optimized. Make sure everything is filled out. There's no red flags or nothing like that. And same thing with your Facebook. Make sure all of that information is filled out, because people may find you on there too. So, and the fifth thing, this is a way for you to jumpstart and get some business going. So whenever you're on your personal Facebook page, go to the search bar in the top left-hand corner, type in the county or the city that you're in, and then click groups on the bottom, on the left-hand side. These are all the city groups that are within your county. Now, there are a lot of neighbors. They'll talk about yard sales. They'll talk about, anything going on in the area. Join every single one of these groups and advertise your business. This is how I started, and this is what really, really started to help me gain traction with the business, because it was personal. People can see my Facebook, my personal Facebook page. They know I'm legit, and it builds trust too. So make a template. Just say, hello, this is blah 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 with blah 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 headlight restoration. This is what I charge. This is the areas that I serve, and just post in there maybe once a week. One thing that is very, very important that you do before you post is make sure that you are reading the rules of the group. Some groups don't allow any business postings. Some groups only allow one day a week. Some even allow only like one certain day a week, like businesses can only advertise on Wednesdays or Thursdays. But get in the habit of getting this template, creating this template, fine-tuning it, honing it in really good, and just posting it once a week. And just have a calendar. Say, okay, I posted this group on Monday, this group on Tuesday, this group on Wednesday, and just do it. It's free advertising. You can even say, hey, mention this coupon or mention this ad and get like a $5 off coupon or something like that. Like I'll go in there whenever I make posts, because I still do the posts now. Like we're flooded with leads, and I'm still making those posts. So it's very important. Just be consistent about it. You may not get a lead right off the bat, but you're planting the seed, and two, you're just being consistent. I've had people call me a year after seeing my sign or seeing my Facebook post and say, hey, I saw your post a while ago, I just haven't gotten around to it, or blah blah blah. Yes, it has been that long. Some people do forget, and that's one way that you're planting the seed in the people's mind, like, hey, these guys do headlight restoration. I've even had one time, I actually had in one of the groups, somebody took a picture of my yard sign and they posted it in the group, and they said, hey, has anybody used this guy for headlight restoration? And I had a bunch of customers that I had already done service for comment on that post saying, yeah, I've used the guy, he's legit, really good dude, great prices. So take advantage of your community, not take advantage, but take advantage of that that free form, because it is free business. It's not just free business, it's personal. It's showing this person who has a local business who's trying to make something of themselves, they're advertising in the community group. So definitely do not be afraid to post in there. By all means, do it. So I just want to make this quick video, guys. I was on the way back. I actually had to do some errands today, so I'm not really in uniform or anything like that. I was just more so on the drive home. So I wanted to make this video in hopes that it does help anybody who's in the on the fence, who's thinking about starting their own headlight restoration business. I've had a few emails, people sign up about the new course. I know it is taking forever, but I am putting a tremendous amount of effort into this course, guys. And it comes with a lot of cool perks, and I want to make sure that everything is perfect, so that you could take the course and be a headlight restoration professional by the time you're done with it. So if you do have any questions, please reach out to me at startrestoringheadlights@gmail.com, or just leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.